A tough piece of information to swallow here before Game 3 of the NBA Finals. It looks like Kristaps Porzingis wasn't as okay as he originally thought he was. KP is now listed as day-to-day with a tendon dislocation in his left leg. Keep in mind, the injury that kept him out for 38 days was his right leg. So this is not a re-aggravation. This is a whole separate thing. I mean, this is a punch in the face. When I got this tweet from Shams Charanai, Celtics Kristaps Porzingis suffered a torn medial retinaculum. I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm not going to act like I do. Pretty much something in his calf, allowing dislocation of the posterior tibialis tendon. Holy cow, I wish I was a doctor when it came to this moment. All right, let's talk about this, though. We know it's not related to his prior injury. We know it's the complete opposite leg. The leg that's also kept Porzingis out for a few regular season games. So pretty much anything below the knee has given Kristaps Porzingis a little bit of hell this season. And here's a tweet that I did see, here's a quote that I did see here from Chris Manning talking about what he saw from Kristaps Porzingis during that Game 2 when he did injure himself late in the fourth quarter. From where I saw him from my seat on the sideline, he did have that stretch band out and was working on that left leg. Not the right leg that caused him to miss 38 days, but the left leg. Even though that is certainly better than re-injuring the right, it makes you wonder, all right, is he going to start overcompensating on one of these legs or these types of injuries that can get aggravated very quickly when a guy gets back out there on the floor too soon? His health is absolutely something worth watching going into Game 3. This quote came out before the breaking news came out, but it was good to see that from Chris Manning's perspective, he was already working that thing out in the middle of Game 2. And Brian Robb did have a tweet here on Joe Mazzulla's quote on his center, Porzingis. He said he's doing everything he can to be ready for Game 3. It's a serious injury. That put a pit in my stomach. A serious injury ahead of 2 games away from Banner 18. Come on, man. We're putting it in the hands of our medical staff whether or not he will play. Kristaps Porzingis was evaluated by several specialists regarding his injury that he did just sustain in Game 2, and he did say it's not in his power to decide if he's going to play Game 3. When Joe Mazzulla put that decision in the medical staff's hands, they now get to say whether or not he is physically capable of taking on a grueling 4 quarters in the NBA Finals. Let's hear from Tingus Pingus himself, shall we? I'll do everything I have to be out there tomorrow. Nothing is going to stop me unless I'm told I am not allowed to play. What a blow, man. What a blow this is. But I do have faith in the Celtics that have gotten the job done up until this point. I still think the Celtics have a better roster than the Dallas Mavericks. I truly do. But now you're going into their territory. But the good news is that you are up 2-0 against the Dallas Mavericks, and you still don't know whether Kristaps Porzingis will play or will not play in Game 3. Are you worried about the Celtics without Kristaps Porzingis? Please let me know in the comment section because I'm a little bit worried. I'm not going to lie. Why am I worried? Because I think that our bigs are better than their bigs. And now we lost one of those bigs. So it's going to be a pretty tough battle in the paint and inside the 3-point line. Comment why/why not in the comment section below. And then I also wanted to get you guys to do something here real quick for me. Do you know somebody that loves Porzingis? Do you know somebody that loves the Boston Celtics? I want you guys right now to click the share button and send this to 5 Celtics fans right now that need to know about Kristaps Porzingis breaking news ahead of Game 3. Because Game 3 is tomorrow in the American Airlines Arena for the Dallas Mavericks. And as of right now, Dallas is favorite to win this ball game minus 2.0. The Celtics have been a minus 7 in Game 1 and Game 2. So now they think this narrative is really going to switch when it comes back to Dallas. Will the Mavericks be able to stop the Celtics this week? Because like you guys know, if they win on Wednesday and on Friday, we raise Banner 18 come the regular season. Do the Dallas Mavericks have enough to put an end to their stop this week? Here's what PJ Washington had to say about the Boston Celtics. He said, they're just better. Thank you, PJ. I always knew you were a smart man. At the end of the day, they're better than all the teams we've played. It's the finals, and we've just got to be the better team. Their record says they have been the best team all year. They have 2 superstars, they have a lot of great role players, and they play team ball. So we just have to be better. Because you got to think, the entire playoff run, it's been an easy path to the finals. No, this has been set in stone since Brad Stevens brought over Porzingis and Jrue Holiday. This was the expectation that was given to the Boston Celtics. And they even won 25-7 against Western Conference teams in the regular season. It did not matter who, it just mattered when. And now that we're finally here, here is how the Mavericks and the Celtics have matched up so far in 2 ball games in the NBA Finals. The Celtics are so sporadic when it comes to being able to drain the rock. This is what I call spreading out the offense. I mean, my goodness. Your lowest score in 2 combined games is 32 points from Kristaps Porzingis. He had a blowout game in Game 1, and then he got a little bit injured there, roughed up in Game 2. Now we don't know if he's going to be there for Game 3, but Brown obviously is leading the way, but slightly behind him is Jrue Holiday, who dropped 23 points in Game 2 as well. Tatum with 34 and Derek White with 33, and then look at the Mavs scoring in the last 2 games. I can literally just block out all of these players right here. Luka is trying to win the NBA Finals by himself. Can he? I don't know. But if I was Luka Doncic, would probably incorporate some of my role players to help me out. Because Luka is outscoring all the Boston Celtics, but the Boston Celtics are outscoring everybody else. As PJ Washington is currently the number 2 scorer for the Mavericks in 2 games, not even Kyrie Irving, who's had 16 points, and he's had 12. Luka's trying to do this by himself, and he's not going to be successful unless he incorporates some of his role players in there, and then maybe I think the Mavericks would have a better chance at competing with the Celtics. I still don't think they're going to take a win. But here's what Luka had to say about what they have to correct heading into Game 3. At the end of the day, we've got to make some more shots. I think my turnovers and my missed free throws cost us the game, so I've got to do way better in those 2 categories. I agree with the free throws, but I don't agree that what he did cost them the game. I think it's a team effort. I'll say that about the Celtics, doesn't matter, but I do think there are different statistics that prove the Celtics are just pointing out the weaknesses for Dallas Mavericks. Look at what Boston has done at the rim in Game 1 and Game 2. They went 15 for 15. 100% at the rim in Game 1, which was a blowout. And then Game 2, they only missed 7 shots at the rim. But they ended up taking 12 more shots down low. And that was with a condensed time for Kristaps Porzingis. I just think the Celtics are playing better basketball right now. I think they're taking advantage of the mismatch and taking the upper hand here. The Celtics have exposed the Mavericks defense, who was leading the league in rim protecting for the last 20 regular season games, and you would have no idea. This is a completely different series from anyone that the Mavericks or the Celtics have played so far, and I think the Celtics and Joe Mazzulla have done a good job of pointing out the weaknesses, but job's not finished. When I look and see Game 3, I have a very strong feeling I'm going to continue to be able to see the bad matchups with or without Kristaps Porzingis, because Al Horford has been doing wonders on Luka Doncic, and I don't think Daniel Gafford and Derek Jones Jr. have done enough to really help out the Dallas Mavericks down low. Derek Lively a little bit coming off the bench, and PJ Washington's kind of been your second top scorer right now for the Mavs, so I can see the bad matchups the minute that game starts. But like I said, the job's not finished. Kyrie Irving said after Game 2, it's going to be the hardest thing we've ever done, coming back down from 2-0 to try and win the NBA Finals. Can the Boston Celtics do it? Let's see. Go on ahead and hit that sub button for me if you guys have not already, because I also want to ask you just one more question here. I refuse to say the word SWEEP. I will not say it, but do you think the Celtics can finish it in 4? Well, go on ahead and comment yes or no down below, and as always, hit that sub button for me.